Greetings, gentry of the void, one and all. I'm CrimsonSlave, and I welcome you to my Insomnia files. This update is covering 2 weeks, and it's going to get worse, and then it will slowly get better. And I will explain. Okay. My videos have gone up in quality, they went down. And a lot of this has to do with a lot of issues going on with me doing things and a lot of mental stuff that's not been going great. So okay. Let me preface this by saying this. I occasionally don't do okay with stuff mentally. And that just comes from having clinical depression and just stuff in general. So I don't ever expect to be 100% at any given time. I just don't. So I try my best to like get through things and like be okay. And I would think, and I would say at least, that like what I go through on a mental on day to day is bad, and like how I deal with it is technically a part of what makes it better or worse, or how it could be better. And that has its own problems with itself. And I would say in the last 2 weeks, like generally because I have gastroparesis, and due to the balance of having a good diet, where my BMI is, and how I manage my stress just makes my illness worse or better depending on the week. And I will say the last 2 weeks collectively have been bad. But some good things have come out of it. But it has been bad, and it has been a time for sure. So let me try to go through what's been going on and give you the update that I would say that someone deserves. I don't know. I do these things for myself, essentially. So I will explain this. One of the reasons that I didn't do a video the last 2 weeks, despite the fact that I had something to be excited about for like a day or two, has been the fact that things go off the rails occasionally, and when they do, it just goes wrong. So I want to explain this random things. So I realize now I don't have a thing that I need to show off, but I will explain this. I did get a thing that I cared about. I have Metaphor. See, I have Metaphor for Xbox One. Not only is it a basic game, I have the big fancy version of it. I have the collector's edition of Metaphor, which I will say may be the one highlight of the last 2 weeks, because I got this thing and it was one of the things that like was looking forward to, and then problems happened, but I still managed to obviously get it. But this is one of the things I like about the game. I've been playing it. I super enjoy it. It's different from what I wanted it to be, but it is exactly what I wanted it to be in the best way possible. So I think one of the things that's really cool about the thing, the book in the game is a recurring thing, and the collector's edition looks like the book, because the book's kind of integral to how the game works. So like it's cool that the collector's edition is the book. But you know, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff that I think is kind of cool. The collector's edition came with. 1 second, gotta get it all out. It came with an art book, full art book. Obviously, it came with the game. I got a collector's edition steelbook edition of the game, which is really nice. I really like it. This is my second steelbook that I've gotten in the past 2 years. I'm really happy about it. The one thing I think is interesting about this is that it has the background here is the same on the collector's edition for all the downloads for it. It's really cool. And I think it's just really good art. This also came with a soundtrack. And it's a really cool thing. It's interesting because I think that because I have a collector's edition of the game, it only shows the first 2 people that you get, which is Skrull and Heidenberg. And they're both really good characters, and it obviously has the protagonist and your fairy friend. It's really cool. It also came with this little box. And this box has pins in it. And these little random things are teeth. If you go into dungeons, you'll always find. You go into dungeons, you'll always find these teeth, these little teeth things, give you random little bits of advice for the game. I think it's really cool and a nice touch for the game itself. I also got a cloth map of the game, which shows me all the environments, which is why I have not opened it, because I have not beaten the game yet, and I'm trying my best to beat it very slowly. And I also got stickers, which technically came with their own little spoiler, because the stickers for the game have all 5 people. I'm technically I'm trying to infiltrate a ship that you spawn later in the game. So I already have these 4 characters. So I have this character, this character, this character, and this character. I don't have her yet, but the fact that she was on this sticker when I opened the thing, I was just like, who was that? I kind of the same question. I was like, who is this character? I'm like, who is this? And I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw her in the start of the game, and I was like, oh, she's interesting. And then like I saw a cutscene, and like you find out that she's like kind of important, and that was cool. And there's that. And I think another thing that I got that was kind of cool. We came with all this, because I have other stickers of like other characters from the game and like stuff that is from the game and 35 Years of Atlas. Just super cool. I think that's nice. And I have a little version of the Gauntlet Rudder that you have in the game. And you have these 4 things that are important to the game stuff. But if you haven't played Metaphor, what I'm showing off to you probably isn't important. But it's interesting, for sure. We'll slide back in there without bending. And then, because I got a collector's edition, I have a digital version of some of the stuff I got. So I have a digital version of the soundtrack, and I have this little clothes set. So I have all the clothes of all the mainline Atlas games. I can change the clothing of the people in the game. So that was all the stuff that I got in the collector's edition of Metaphor, and I'm happy with it. I'll get to a point about that in a moment after I put all this back in here. So I would say maybe in the last 2 weeks, that was the interesting and cool part of my week. And it was the interesting, cool thing of my week. And it came with a mental breakdown that I did not expect to have. But it came with one, and I didn't expect to have it. Sleep. Go back to your bed. yeah, this is gonna be. I think I'm like halfway over from if you care about time or whatever. But this week has just been interesting, hard, and it's had its level of problems. So, one of the things, a lot of things happened in the last 2 weeks, and one of the things that just happened to just be the thing was I couldn't go to work. Now, I'm not saying that I could have gone to work, but like I just got super sick, and the reason why I got super sick is for three reasons. One, I am experiencing some of, I wouldn't say the worst stress levels, because I realized that when I first got gastroparesis 3 years ago now, that the stress levels while dealing with then were the highest. And that and my diabetes being uncontrolled, those two things at the same time up there. So those were the worst times of my life, were stressed. So that wasn't it. But I've had super high stress levels, and that was the reason why I was sick most last 2 weeks. Second reason that I couldn't go to work because I was throwing up, and due to my medication, in a very strange way, I've been like having bowel issues, and that just like rendered me like in pain on rolling on my sides and not being able to like do things, because it feels like I'm either going to need to spend a lot of time in the bathroom because I'm either going to throw up, or I'm sitting there in intense pain trying to get waste out of my body, which makes it seem like I'm having problems from both ends, which is just like kind of the worst thing ever with everything else going on. And the third reason why I haven't been able to get to work, on top of those two main factors, which are like kind of congruous with each other, is the fact that like my mother's car has just become a strange factor in life. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was curious about problems because during the hurricane, there's high flooding in my very weird town, and it's a very weird town. And because of that, my mom's car just like wouldn't start one day, and we assumed it was because of the flood waters. We like called a bunch of insurance people, and we were on the verge of thinking that maybe the car's going to be total, which was going to lead to a bunch of factors and issues. And then we like talked to a person, it's a friend of my grandparents and my mom, so like a friend of the family, and they were just like, just try jumping it. And don't get me wrong, we did jump it, and it didn't work out. But like we were going to do all these things, and we just like took the battery out, put it back in, jumped it with everything completely off, and it turned back on. We then had had the insurance people come out. They checked it, and they were like, weird, we'll monitor it, but technically the car is drivable. And that was a thing that was on the up end of the week, because my mom's car is drivable, and she got a new job. Sorry, she changed jobs, and she's doing her own cool stuff. So that was all a thing, and that was a good thing with the week. Now, while that was happening, because like I will say that like I was having a bad week the last 2 weeks, because metaphor back there, sorry, angling, metaphor this way, metaphor, fingers, anyway, metaphor back there, metaphor, I pre-ordered it, and it was supposed to get here, and then it took like a long weird way to get here, but I got here eventually, and I was happy to play it. I'm happy to play it. I haven't been playing it a lot this week because my friend Strider was like, we should play State of Decay. And I was like, sure. I played that once for 6 hours 5 years ago with some people, and it was a weird experience. It was fun. So I've been playing a lot of that, trying to help him and get an understanding of how the game works. I can get him to do that. And I would say this: playing State of Decay has been a fun experience. It also may be one in like State of Decay is ending soon apparently, and they're making State of Decay 3, which is an interesting choice and experience. It's a fun game that I've been playing with my free time because I've been just here sick and dealing with my grandparents and trying to do things. I've never had more problems with world events since maybe playing Diablo 2 on the horrible PC that I had back when I was like 17, or maybe playing Guild Wars during harder lobbies while trying to do things with my guild, because I've never had just like random things change on me and I haven't known what to do. I have killed 4 people, 2 leaders, due to random problems that I think are not fairly given to me. I killed a leader yesterday through a severely strange problem. I cut the game on, started it, and it was moving slow. I was like, this is weird. But I was trying to do one mission on the way to where I was going so I could get the character legacy, which is like the next level to like be in the game. It's a normal game. And I was doing that. My game started lagging really hard. And when I got to the place where I was getting to, I knew the game would autosave. A bunch of zombies started showing up. And like, I was like getting... My Xbox Series X, I think it runs at like 720 or 1080p. I was maybe getting like 25 to 30 frames, and like I was swinging at stuff, and I was like, this is horrible. So I paused the game, exited it, and then I cut the game off. And then I just hard closed it, because I didn't know like if the lag was due to the game being on for a long period of time, because I was playing Witch Strider, and I stopped playing Witch Strider, and I was like, maybe this game coming on. When I came back to my game file, it just killed my character. And I was like, why is she dead? Like, it shouldn't have done that. So when I drove to where the character was, not only was she dead, she just despawned out of the game where her body should have been, and she was just gone. That's a problem. The last character that I killed, I was driving somewhere and tried to get out of the car because I hit a bloater. And when I hit a bloater, a world event kicked up, and it made the bloater that was hurting my car more toxic. And while outside of the car during a dust storm, it made the AoE effect on the bloater worse. And then the game told me and popped on my screen telling me that dying is a event that you cannot stop. And it overlaid me being able to hit A to save my character who was dying from the car while he had meds on him to get up, and he killed him. The partner that I had before that character, who was a warlord that was working on trying to just completely finish, that particular character had a fun problem where I was trying to get back to my base to save myself from a feral zombie that was trying to attack me. Because once you get into your base people will help you. But as I was climbing over the fence and getting hit by a zombie, an event kicked off, and it spawned another feral zombie on top of me. And between the two zombies hitting me and me trying to kill one, you can still get damaged mid-animation. And between the two zombies hitting me, with the event going off, I couldn't get out of the animation to finish off a zombie, and then it killed my character. I think the game is fun, and I enjoy playing it with Strider because I have more information now to help him out with his game and doing things that he's doing. But it may be one of the worst experiences to know that how the game is running or what events coming up can destroy time that you invested into it. Don't get me wrong, I played and completed begrudgingly. I completed and completed the collector's edition of Watch Dogs Legion, which I think is up there for glitchy games and bullshit things that happened out of my control. And the better part about that is I recorded most of those things because I recorded all that series. Oh my god. My god. That experience. Top tier bullshit for some of the things that went wrong. And I would think that a game like say K2, which had our edition, and it got its last big update because they're working on 3. I wouldn't have problems like that, but it just goes to show you that things just go wrong randomly. But as I said, things get worse, but it got better. I've been having my own mental issues. I kind of veered away from this because I started talking about metaphor, but I don't know. Between me being sick and being bad and like anniversary, and I had an anniversary pass of me being here for 2 years, which is something that I didn't think would be a thing in my life, and just like dealing with like the mental breakdown of everything that is being here the last 2 years, the mental anguish that has been this, the lack of friends, the lack of friends, the lack of intimacy, the destruction of things that I had, the lack of stuff, the ability to not have anything, not being able to go out anymore, being confined to the house, being with my family, my high stress levels. I took a plummet. I took a really big plummet with how I was doing with things. Because I will admit that like I don't go through a thing. I don't have a YouTube voice, or maybe I do. I don't know. But like I don't try to like. I don't try to go out of my way to be like things are good. I've tried to be authentic and stuff. It's like why I write things, and it's why like I type on Tumblr, and it's why I do random things that I do, because I feel that having a real correspondence of things that I'm doing is good, because it's me trying to let go and reflect on things that are going on in life, and I think that's important. But I will say that trying to do that and be that person is hard to do when it feels like nothing good is happening around you. And one of the biggest factors with me being sick and having all these mental problems and having these mental dips is the fact that I can see from a standpoint, because I think like for like 2 days straight, I had like 4 to 5 hours moments where I could not get out of bed because between gas being trapped inside of me and feeling like I was going to throw up and frequently going back to wait to vomit and it wasn't coming out and waiting to see things. I just had like a few hours where I was just like in pain, staring at things on the floor, staring at my clothes, staring at the ceiling. And like in moments of anguish like that, you try to like think about stuff or distract yourself or try to will yourself to go to sleep. And if you do stuff like that, you try to focus on things around you or try to think of different things. And it's crazy to me to think to myself in that moment of this like long-term pain and anguish that I didn't have anything to like fall back on to be like, things are gonna get better. Remember this? Because literally in those moments, my brain was, I have metaphor. And I couldn't think of a thing beyond it. Because I was like, there are so many movies to watch. And I was like, I haven't seen a movie probably since May. I think the last movie that I went to go see was Deadpool was Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters. It's the last movie I think I saw physically. And then I was like, you can watch stuff. Like, there are things to watch. And I'm like, do I watch things anymore? And like, I just like went through like this mental thing in this moment of just thinking about all the things that like are usually the things that bring me to get through things. Usually it's a movie or it's music. There's something to look forward to. When I almost died in the hospital when I had diabetes, and my blood sugar was like at insane levels. One of the things once I came back to normality, because I was technically I was like the highest I think I could ever be because of how high my blood sugar was, and I was just seeing different realities and thinking things were insane. The thing that like mentally grounded me at some point was Fall Out Boy is going on tour again. I need to live to hear all of Save Rock and Roll. That may sound stupid to you, but Fall Out Boy was my favorite band ever. So the fact that like Fall Out Boy made a song, because I think I went in the hospital like maybe like a week or two after they released Young and the Menace, and it was just one of those things of I have to live. And usually in moments of badness, I think to myself, there is another thing. There is something else you have to work. You have to look forward to, and like there are things that I think people in life can look at objectively and say to themselves, this is the thing that will get me through. Some people it's kids, some people it's dogs, some people it's their next accomplishment. It's the thing that they want to accomplish before they die. Normal people, I think, look toward things like that because they have a responsibility towards something, or there's something that they feel that they need to accomplish. But someone who struggles with suicidal tendencies and has mental things and thinks to himself constantly that I don't matter and things that I don't do, no one cares about me. I don't have that long-term brain function to think to myself, this is the thing that will happen. Because being in Florida, I understand my family cares about me and stuff, but I don't have that mental capacity to think anymore that my friends care about me. I haven't talked to anyone from Delaware in years, and I don't think that's going to change. I don't. I talked to my friend California. He's living his own life. He's changing things in life, but I don't think he'll miss me. Like, he'll miss me, I'm sure, but it won't be to the fact that, like, I'm sure that he'll think about what he could have done differently. I mentally have gotten to a point where I've objectively come to a point that I understand that I'm here, but I understand I'm no longer affecting people's lives in a considerable way. And therefore, that means that I don't really have a strong connection to anything or most people, because those people don't care about me, and I don't really have anything to latch on to, which is a problem with suicidal tendencies and bad self-esteem and all other things, but reality that I currently live with. So, yeah, the last 2 weeks have been bad. And I think technically that is the update. I would have done an update before now. I thought about it a bunch of times. But, what was it? Tuesday, I thought about it. I thought about making a late update and being like, I can still report that I have metaphor. But I was like in so much pain for so many hours. And then Wednesday, I like literally spent maybe from 10 o'clock to around 4 where I just couldn't move because I was in pain on all sides. I threw up twice, then my body felt weak and clammy. Then I basically just laid and didn't do anything for hours. Then I did something that kicked off a problem that made me regret caring. And yeah, it's been a super bad time and a horrible week. And it's been a thing. But we're here. And this has been the super bad long update. But hey, I have metaphor. And at some point, maybe before the next video, next Sunday, I might have, fuck it, what's called, Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm doing something.
My transcript.
I'm doing something. Yeah. But yeah. Things are bad. Things are just bad in general. Yeah. I think maybe I'll have Veilguard, and it's kind of bad for me because like me dropping everything, I stopped streaming Dragon Age. I kind of gave up on a lot of things, and I think technically I hoped that making a video about everything would maybe encourage me to go back to it or whatever, and we'll see. But yeah, this is the update. It's not the greatest. It's not good, and man, my mental state and everything is bad. But I try to keep these things honest, and I try to make these things make sense and do things in a way that makes everything work. And this has been the update. It's been bad. I don't know. I don't know. My next update will be good, but who knows? If I have Veilguard before Sunday, I'll show that off, and that'll be a little bit of dopamine, because I won't open it. Until I have the video. So there's that. If you care, because I don't think anyone does, because I don't care. I don't think anyone watches my videos. My videos quality has gone down because I need to figure out if I'm going to pay for. I need to figure out if I'm going to pay for Adobe, thingy, the editing software on Apple. I like it. I like it a lot. Give me 9 days to try it. I really like it, and I think I actually will pay for it because it actually was super good, and I actually did enjoying it. And yeah, I don't know. Things are just bad, and things are in flux. I need to fix things. I need to make things better. But maybe in the next 2 weeks I'll have a new game, and maybe my hair will be green before Halloween, which is next Friday. We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. But until I decide something or something else changes, I hope your time is better than mine. You don't watch my videos. I don't really have a point to that. But if you did watch the video or skim it, I hope that your week's better than mine. Truly, truly I do. Because my life is a cavalcade of problems and things, and I truly do wish that it was better. And even when I go back and review my videos and look at how things are going for my life, I'm like, Past Jack is going through some shit. But it's not like future me is any better. So that's his own problem in and of itself. But either way, thank you for watching this, if anyone did. And yeah, till the next time. Ta.